Hi, guys and gals. Al Smith here. Today, we're going to do the second lesson in the first and second seat major suit open response system. All right, now this entire course only applies to when you open one heart or one spade in first or second seat. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about 2/1. Okay, now the 2/1 convention has been around for about 60 years. Somewhere probably around 15 or 20 years ago, somebody decided they'd call it a system. They can call it whatever they want. I'm going to call it a convention. Okay, and 2/1 is used only if the partner opens one heart or one spade in first or second seat. Okay, critical, only in that particular situation. If your partner is opening in third or fourth seat, one heart or one spade, you're not going to be using 2/1. Okay, they've tried to fill in that gap some in some of the more recent literature by calling it something, but it's not 2/1. It's just regular standard American and you're going to use the Drury Convention to show fits. Okay, so let's get that clear. It only applies to first or second seat. And it's used in conjunction with one no trump, semi-forcing, or forcing, all variations. And the semi-forcing is better. We'll talk about that in the next lesson, why that's true. And it also is used in conjunction with all the major suit raise conventions. So weak jump raise, Jacoby 2 no trump, Bergen raises, splinters, etc. All right, so it's just one piece of the jigsaw puzzle. Okay, and it's used to describe a specific set of hands by the responder. Okay, and its purpose is to allow the responder to immediately show 12 plus length points after the partner's opening bid if there is no opponent interference. Okay, no opponent interference. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, and it also, uh, uh, if there is opponent interference, the 2/1 is no longer applicable and the bidding reverts to standard American if the direct seat opponent is the one that's interfering. Okay, so if your partner opens one heart and the opponent bids one spade, 2/1 is off. Okay, if it goes one heart pass, 2/1 is on because the direct seat opponent did not interfere. And one of the real reasons for 2/1, it allows for easier slam exploration and also allows you more room to investigate where the contract should be properly placed in no trump versus the major suit or potentially somewhere else. Okay, and I'll talk a little bit about fast arrival. The term is overused, and its fast arrival bids are actually used too often. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Okay, I mean, if you want to bid slow with a stronger hand, so you can explore, you can communicate with one another to find the right fit, the right contract, and to make sure you're in the right game and to explore slam. You're going to bid fast. This is what's fast arrival when you know you don't have any possibility for gain. Okay, and we'll give you some examples about that in a while. All right. Okay, what are the 2/1 bids? Let's just take a look at this. I'm going to enumerate them. We've got one heart, okay, and then by the opener, and two clubs by the responder. Okay, now over here, what you're going to see on the right, it's going to say that bid is very specific and it shows less than or equal to three hearts, less than or equal to three spades, and three plus clubs. Okay, I'm not sure if I've got the right version up, but I had edited this earlier. So let's see what happens. All right. And you've got 12 plus length or distribution points. Notice I said distribution also because the 2/1 bids do not deny a fit in the major suit, a 3-card fit. They do deny a 4-card fit, 4+ card fit, if you're using the other conventions like Jacoby 2 no trump, Bergen bid, splinters, and so on. You got 1 heart, 2 diamonds, the same type of situation. You got 1 spade, 2 clubs, and 1 spade, 2 diamonds. All right, now again, the 2/1 bids do not deny a 3-card fit. Now you're going to notice I left some things out that some other people call 2/1 bids. Okay, there are 2 other bids that may or may not be 2/1 bids, depending on what your partnership agreement is and what you want them to be. One of them is 1 club, 1 diamond, 2 clubs. Some people say this is a 2/1 bid. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. Okay, one of the disadvantages is if you use 1 diamond, 2 clubs is 2/1, guaranteeing 12+ points. It makes the 1 no trump bid response extremely wide range, 6 to 11 points, which is very difficult to handle versus the 6 to 9. And also you've got the situation of 1 spade, 2 hearts. Okay, the problem associated with using this as a 2/1 bid is it's very difficult to differentiate for the responder then to differentiate between a 5 and a 6+ card suit. We'll talk, I've got examples of both of those. Okay, if not a 2/1 bid, you can see that 1 diamond, 2 clubs would be in essence revert to standard American. It would show 10+ points, not 12+. And if you're using 1 spade, 2 hearts alert, it would show 5+ hearts and 10+ points, just like standard American. But we'll talk more about an example. We'll discuss these more in detail in a minute. Okay. 2/1 bids are generally forcing to 3 no trump or the 4 level. Notice I'm not saying it's forcing to the 5 level in a minor suit. And the reason for this is that for a 3 no trump or a 4 level in a major suit, you generally need somewhere between 24 and 26 to 27 total points in order to make the contract. Okay, for 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, you're going to need somewhere between 27 and 29. So if you're using 2/1 and you end up bidding at the 4 level in a minor suit, that's not forcing to the 5 level. Okay, now there's only one situation in the major suits where it's not forcing to 3 no trump or to the 4 level. Okay, and that situation is when the opener bids its open suit 3 times. Here's an example. The opener bids 1 spade. Responder bids 2 diamonds. Opener then rebids his spades, 2 spades. Responder then shows another suit bidding 3 clubs, showing new suit is forcing. The opener then bids 3 spades. In essence, the opener is saying is that I've got a minimum hand, and the only suit that's accepted me for trump is spades. Okay, you decide whether you want to take the contract to 4 spades or pass. This is the only time you've got the suit bid 3 times, 1, 2, 3, that it's not forcing to 3 no trump or the 4 level. Okay, the responder may pass, bid 3 no trump, bid 4 spades, or will do whatever else the responder wants to do based upon their hand. But this is the only time that you can pass below 3 no trump, below 3 no trump. Okay, now if you're at 4 clubs or 4 diamonds, if the suit previously bid is invitational, okay, because you're agreeing on that suit. Let's look at this example. The opener bid 1 spade, the responder bid 2 diamonds, and then the opener bid 3 diamonds. Now, when the opener does this, they're promising 4+ diamonds, so they've agreed on diamonds being trump. And in this situation, the responder then bids 4 diamonds, and what that is an invitation to bid 5 diamonds. Okay, and if the responder wants to, they'll bid 5 diamonds or they'll pass. Now, if they've got an extremely strong hand, they might even explore slam by bidding a new suit or initiating a key card, ask, or blackwood. Okay, and so that's trying to clarify what the 2/1 forcing convention is, what level it's forcing to. Okay, 2/1 bids deny all responder fit and shape showing bids except 3-card fit. It does not deny a 3-card fit. So you've got 3-card fit with game forcing points. You can use 2/1. You want to show a 4+ card feature suit. Now, this was a change that I made, okay, because in reality, and when I make a 2/1 bid of 2 diamonds, I like to guarantee 5+ diamonds. If I make a 2/1 bid of 2 clubs, I'm not guaranteeing 5. I'm only guaranteeing 3 because 2 clubs is used as a temporizing bid when you don't have a better bid to make. Okay, so that does occur. Okay, let's look at fast arrival for a second. Okay, you're going to bid slow with the stronger hand. You're going to bid fast with a weaker hand. Okay, the bidding in this next in the example has been 1 spade, and the responder bid 2 clubs, and then the opener bid 2 diamonds. Now, when the opener bid 2 diamonds, he's saying, I've only have 5 spades, and I've got 4+ diamonds. He could have 5. Okay. Opener is actually denying having 6+ spades. Okay, so that's there's and this is where some of the people kind of tend to go for calling it a system rather than a convention, because there's more details than just the responder's first bid. Okay, as a responder, you've got this. Okay, you've got a minimum value hand. Okay, you bid the 2 diamonds. Let's say we bid the 2 clubs in this particular situation. You've got 2, 5, 6, 10, 12 high card points. All right, so it's you fit right in the range of 12 to 14, and you actually don't have 13 distribution points. You only have 12. So this is what, slide 5. You can see I was not doing real well with my math on this one. All right, so let me just count that again. There's 4, 8, 10, 12, and we don't have a length point or any distribution points, so it's 12. It's actually 12 high card points, 12 length points, and 12 distribution points. Okay, but since there is no shortness and no extra length. All right, now the minimum 2/1, you want to make a minimum 2/1 bid, and you have no ace. Okay, in this particular situation, because it's such a flat hand and it's a minimum, you can consider bidding 4 spades because it's a minimum. Now, I actually wouldn't encourage that. A lot of people would go ahead and do that and say, well, I've got the fit. We've got an 8+ card suit. I've got good points. I'm just going to go ahead and bid 4 spades. Now, why wouldn't I want to go to 4 spades? Because 3 no trump might be a better contract. Okay, when you've got a hand like this, you actually shouldn't use fast arrival by bidding 4 spades. This hand, you should actually bid go slower. You should bid 2 clubs. Find out what the length of the opener spade suit is. If they've got 6, then spades is going to be the better contract. But if they only have 5 and they have a flat hand, 5, 3, 3, 2, 3 no trump is going to be the better contract. So don't overuse the fast arrival. Okay, but the one thing to note about this, the fast arrival shows a minimum hand by the responder. Okay, as I said, I actually don't use fast arrival very much. Some of the discussions, they use it a whole bunch, but I find it much more useful to communicate with my partner and find out what he or she has, and vice versa. Okay, now if you've got extra values, you definitely don't want to use fast arrival, because you have a potential for slam, not only for game, but for slam. In this particular case, we've got 6, 10, 14, 16. We've got 17 distribution points. We get 1 for that doubleton. Okay, And note, when you count distribution, you don't also count length. So we've got 6, 10, 14, 16 high card points. We don't get to count one for the fifth club because we're shifting. We found our fit. We're going to count one for distribution. So we've got 17 high card, 17 distribution point. Our partner has said they've got 13 plus. That's 30. Okay, we're right on the cusp of being able to explore slam. So we want to take our time to find out what the opener has so that we can figure out whether we should be in slam or not. Okay, we're definitely going to want to be in game with this hand, but we want to find out if we're going to be in slam. So what we're going to do, we're going to bid 2 spades to show the extra values in slam. Remember, we're in a game forcing auction. Now, I think I had in the handout 3 spades, and I changed that to 2. So it should be 2. You want to keep the bidding as low as possible to give yourself as much room to communicate with your partner, to exchange information as to what each of you have. Okay, and then now the opener can start bidding first and second round controls with slam interest. Or if they don't have any slam interest at all, because they have an extremely weak hand or something, go to 4 spades, which says, I don't want to talk anymore. However, the responder, if they've got an extremely strong hand, can go ahead and explore it further. All right. Now, let's talk about these other 2 bids that that I mentioned earlier. Okay, should 1 diamond by the opener and then 2 clubs by the responder be a 2/1 bid? Okay. If you use that to show 12 plus length points, then 1 no trump must show 6 to 11 length points and a flat hand. Okay, now 6 to 11 is an extremely large range. Okay, and it makes exploring, finding the right contract and the right level of the contract very difficult when you open 1 diamond and then your partner bids 1 no trump. Okay, let's take a look at 3 hands. If you're using this approach of 1 diamond, 2 clubs being 2/1, you're going to bid 1 no trump with all 3 of these hands. Okay, in this first one, you've got 11 length points, 10 length points, and then 6. So you can see there's a tremendous difference between these hands in terms of their makeup, their point count, their shape, and so forth. Okay, so how is the opener supposed to get additional information from you to describe these hands? It's very difficult. Okay, so one of the problems here is that it cannot show a 5+ card club shoot with 10 to 11 points. You just don't have the capability of doing that if you're using this large range for 1 no trump. Okay, the 6-point range is just too large. There's no way to differentiate 6-9 from 10 to 11 points within that bidding system. Okay, and it's solved though if you use 1 diamond and 2 clubs as showing 4+ clubs and 10+ length points. In other words, just reverting and using standard American. That way, you have the ability to differentiate these hands. Okay, and in these, the first hand would have been 1 diamond, 2 clubs because it's got 10+. Second one would be 1 diamond, 2 clubs, and the third one would be 1 diamond, 1 no trump because it only has the 6 to 9. So you can use this particular approach then to the following bid to be able to differentiate what you have. Now, if you've got 12+, you're going to be able to continue your bidding. The responder will be able to bid again after the 2 clubs. So it gives you a lot a better method of describing the hand by not using the 2 club bid after the 1 diamond open as a 2/1 bid. It's best to use it as standard American. Okay, now let's take a look at the second one that I brought up. 1 spade, 2 hearts. Okay, let's look at some examples here. Okay, we've got 1 spade, 2 hearts shows 5+ and 12+ if you're using this as a 2/1 bid. 5+ hearts, 12+ points. Okay, now the problem with this is, let's take a look at these two hands here. Okay, is that in both of these situations, if your partner, the responder, bids one no trump, let's see, okay, if you're using one no trump forcing or semi-forcing, in order to make the 2/1 bid, you need to have 12 plus points. In this first example, you've only got 11. So you're going to go through one no trump, okay? And then the opener comes back and bids 2 spades. If you want to show your hearts, you've got to go to 3 hearts, all right? And if we go to the second one here, where we've got 11 length points, again here with 6 hearts, we have the same problem. We can't differentiate. We have no capability of differentiating between a 5-card heart suit and a 6-card heart suit. Okay, so with 10 to 11 points, you're in essence, by bidding 3 hearts, your partner is going to have to guess and say, okay, my partner's got at least 10 to 11 points because they started out with one no trump and 5 or maybe 6 or maybe 7 hearts. You can't accurately describe your hand. Now, the other problem is what this does is it forces the responder to bypass 2 no trump with 5 hearts, and 2 no trump may be the only makeable contract. So you're kind of painting yourself into a corner if you're using 1 spade, 2 hearts as a 2/1 bid. Okay, this could solve if you just use 2 heart bid after the 1 spade as a standard American bid, because now you brought the threshold down to to 10 plus points. So what these 2 tweaks to 2/1 do is gives you the benefits of 2/1 by and also eliminating 2 of the deficiencies of 2/1. So it gives you a much more robust capability to describe your hand. So in this first one, the bidding would have been 1 spade, 2 hearts. Okay, you've got 10, 11, you've got 11 length points, 2 hearts. The opener's going to bid 2 spades. Now you could bid 2 no trump, okay, which might be the only viable contract. You know that your partner, and you actually don't know how many spades your partner has. He's only guaranteed 5 at this particular point in time, okay? And in this second example, you can go 1 spade, 2 hearts, 2 spades. 3 hearts now guarantees the 10 to 11 points and 6 hearts. So it guarantees that information, makes things much easier for the opener then to decide what he or she wants to do. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of examples here. Okay, what should be the responder's first bid? Our partner has opened 1 heart. Okay, we've got 5 spades, 3 hearts, 4 diamonds, and 1 club. Okay, and we've got 10 points in spades, 12, 13. We've got 16 high card points. Okay, all of our honors are guarded, so we have no negative adjustment. We get 3 points, 3 additional points for the singleton and club. We found the golden fit. We know that our partner has 5 plus hearts. We've got 3. That guarantees a golden fit. We're going to count distribution points. Now, just as a reminder, only the person that discovers the fit gets to count distribution points. Both players on the partnership do not get to count distribution points. Now, if you're using an advanced point count system like the Bergen system, that's a topic for another discussion on another day. Okay, so we've got 19 distribution points. Okay, our partner has said they've got 13, we got 32. We definitely want to be looking at slam on this particular hand. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to bid 1 spade. We're not going to make a 2/1 bid. Why? Because we want to be able to tell our partner that we have spades. the next time we bid on this particular hand, if after our partner bids, we're going to bid 3 hearts to show them that we actually have the suit fit and we've got a strong hand. Okay, so I just want to come back and say, you know, this doesn't 2/1 doesn't obviate the requirement to show the spades 4+ spades with this type of hand. Okay. Okay. Now, and there are other, you know, I won't go there yet. Okay. Second example, we've got 1 spade. Okay, our partner opened 1 spade. We've got, in this case, we've got 10, 12, 13 high card points. Okay, but we've got that unguarded queen of spades. Now, actually, this should not be a -1. Okay, even though myself a note. Okay, even though when we initially count this hand, we're going to count this hand as 13 -1 + 1 for our length. Okay, now, once our partner bids spades, we get to reevaluate that unguarded queen and add that 1 back because we're going to assume our partner has something in spades. Therefore, the queen is no longer unguarded. Okay, learning and to count points appropriately and continuously reevaluate your points is a really important part of bridge. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bid 2 hearts. Okay, now our next our planned next bid is going to be no trump if our partner doesn't show us they have 6+ spades. Okay, because we've got a blocker in all of the other suits. Now, let's say our partner comes back and bids a new suit. Let's say 3 clubs or something. Okay, what we now know is that the opener does not have 6 spades, has 4 in the new suit, and we're going to know that no trump is going to be the best contract. So, keeping that dialogue alive at the lowest level and exchanging that information is critical in determining what contract you want to be in at what level. In example 3 here, we've got 1 spade, we've got 10, 11 high card points. All of our honors are guarded. We get 2 plus our length points. We've got 11, we've got 13 length points. We're going to count length points here because we do not have a fit. Okay, we had a fit in example 1, so we're counting distribution points. We might have a fit in example 2, but we don't know, so we're going to count length points. Okay, and in example 3, we have an unbalanced hand. We're definitely going to count length points. We've got 13 length points. Our partners promised us 13 length points. We should have game somewhere. We just have to figure out where. Okay, so we're going to bid 2 hearts. And what we're going to plan to bid next is 3 hearts. And when we bid 3 hearts, the next time our partner will know that we're guaranteeing that we've got 6+ hearts. Okay, not 5, 6. So it clarifies that situation tremendously. We'll look at example 4 here. Our partner opened 1 heart. What do we got? We've got 10 high card points. 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. They're ugly. And that jack is unguarded. So we're going to subtract 1. We've got 1 length point, so we can get up to 10 length points. Okay, so what are we going to bid here? Well, we're going to bid 1 no trump, and we'll talk more about 1 no trump in next week's lesson. But we're too weak to make a 2/1 bid. Okay, we don't want to bid to our partner and say bid 2 clubs in this situation because we're promising 12+. We don't have it. Okay, let's look at this example here. We've got length points. We've got 13. Everything is guarded, so we don't have to subtract anything. We have no additional length points because of the flat hand. So we have 13 length points, 13 high card points, and 13 distribution points. Okay, really, because we have no extra length and we have no shape, no distributional aspects, but we got 13 points. So we should be in game somewhere. We look at this and say, we probably should be game in either one of two places, 4 spades or 3 no trump. Which one do we want to be in? Okay, that's the question. If our partner is 5, 3, 3, 2 or 5, 4, 2, 2, it's highly likely that we want to be in 3 no trump and not 4 spades, because many times you can make 9 tricks, but you can't make 10. And if you can make 10 in no trump and in the major suit, guess what? The no trump bid is going to score a higher, give you a higher score. And that is always the number one objective on every hand, is to get the best score you can get, positive or negative, not to make the contract, but get the best score. So we're going to bid 2 clubs with this particular hand. We're going to make a 2/1 bid. Now, we only have 3 clubs. We've got 4 diamonds, but I like to be able to guarantee my partner I've got 5+ diamonds. I use clubs as a temporizing bid. So I'm going to bid 2 clubs, and it's only going to promise 3+ clubs, but it's promising my partner I've got 12+ points and that we should be investigating game. Now, the next time after my partner makes their second bid, I'm going to bid spades. My partner is going to know that I have a fit for him in spades, and I only have 3 of them, because if I had 4, I would have used a different bid. Okay, number 6. Okay, and this one's an interesting hand. We have 5 diamonds, 5 clubs, the responder, and 3 spades. All right, if we count this up, we've got 20 length points. Okay, now we can also count this as in terms of distribution points, and because we do have a fit within the spade suit. So I didn't count it that way. We'd have 10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18. We've got 18 high card points. We're going to have 23 distribution points, because we're going to give ourselves 4 or 5 for the void. I actually only like to count voids as 4, not 5, but we're going to, so we've got somewhere between 22 and 23 distribution points. I should add that onto that slide. 9 distribution points. Okay. And so what are we going to do here? Okay, we could immediately jump to 4 spades and hate ourselves in the morning because we probably missed at least a small slam. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bid 2 diamonds. Okay, it's a 2/1 bid. Okay, as soon as we bid 2/1, our partner knows we're in a game forcing auction. Our partner is going to bid something. Then I'm going to bid clubs. And now, since I'm bidding a new suit, clubs is a new suit, that's forcing. The opener is going to make the 3rd bid, then I'm going to support the spades. Okay, so we're still going to find that I'm still going to be able to tell my partner about the spade bid later on, but I'm also going to be able to tell them about my strength in these other 2 suits. So you can see how that, by being able to immediately tell your partner that you've got game forcing points, it gives you the capability of more fully describing your hand. Okay, let's take a look at the opener's second bid after the 2/1 bid. Okay, and these are in priority order. Okay, we're going to assume that the responder bids a suit. You open 1 spade, the responder bids 2 diamonds. Okay, the responder is showing that they have 5+ diamonds and 12+ points. So the first priority of the opener is if they've got 4+ cards in that suit, they need to show the responder that they have that fit. And that includes bidding splinter bids by making it a double jump shift. Okay, now the second priority is to jump rebid the open suit showing a 6+ card suit and 16+ length points. Okay, the And the third is if you open with heart system, it is to show a reverse. Okay, and showing that you started with either 6 hearts and 5 spades, or 6 hearts and 4 spades. Because if you had 6 hearts and you didn't have a reversible hand, you would have just done the jump bid. Okay, so this is one level down. Okay, so, and if you don't have a 6-card suit, you're going to show a second suit with four to 5 cards in that second suit. And if you've got 12 to 14 or 18 plus high card points, you're going to bid to no trump. Now you go, why does this show 2 different ranges for no trump? Now, also you have to have unbid blockers. This is the opener. Okay, you're doing that because if the responder now bids 3 no trump after the 2 no trump, you can now, as the opener, if you've got the strong hand, bid 4 clubs to initiate Gerber and explore slam. Okay, and you're going to directly go to 3 no trump with 15 to 17 points. This way, you're fully describing your hand to the responder. Okay, and you're going to, if you rebid the major at the 2 level, it does not guarantee 6 plus cards. It only guarantees 5. Okay, in essence, you're rebidding the major, saying, I don't have any of these other bids. I can't make any of these other bids, so I've got to rebid my major, and I've got less than or equal to 15 points. You might have a relatively weak hand too, because you might have one of those exceptions hands that we talked about last week. Okay, what this does is it's allow you to investigate no trump even with a fairly weak open. Okay, because remember, your responder has a fairly strong hand because they've shown 12 plus points. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples here of what the opener's second bids might be. In this one, the opener opened a spade, and then the responder bid 2 clubs. So what do we in this particular hand, if we reevaluate our points, we've got 10 in spades, 13, we've got 18 high card points. Everything is guarded, and we got 1 length point. So we're still counting length points. Okay, but we got 19 plus points. So what are we going to do here? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to bid 2 diamonds. You say, well, why didn't we do a strong jump shift? Well, because we don't have to, because we're in a game forcing auction, so 3 no trump or higher. So what we want to do is preserve as much bidding room as possible. And by bidding 2 diamonds, we're saying, hey, partner, I only have 5 spades and I've got 4 or 5 diamonds. Okay, so you're using the bid to more fully describe your hand. And you don't have to worry about your partner passing because you're in a game forcing auction. Okay, let's look at this second example. We've got 1 heart, and then the responder bids 2 clubs. Let's take a look at this. We've got how many points? We've got 6, 10, 13 high card points. That queen of spades is unguarded, so we're going to subtract 1. And we've got 2 hearts. So we've got a 5th and 6th, going to add 2 length points. We've got 14 length points. So we should have enough points for game somewhere. We just don't know where we're going to have, we're going to bid, where we're going to, what contract's going to be best. So what are we going to do here? We're going to bid 2 hearts. Okay, we're telling our partner we don't have another bid. We don't have another 4-card suit. We don't want to bid no trump. We do have that the hearts. We have 6 of them. Now, our partner is not going to know we've got 6 because we're only guaranteeing 5. Now, how do we tell our partner we have 6? Well, we rebid hearts again. On the next bid, our partner will know that we have 6. Okay, if we don't rebid the hearts, our partner will know we only have 5. So it's very clear, it's very specific. All right, let's look at this example here. We opened 1 heart with this hand. We've got 13 high card points. We've got the queen of spades. We have to subtract 1 because it's unguarded. And we got 1 length point here. So we started out with 13 length points. We still have 13 length points. Now the responder bid 2 clubs. Okay, now here is a challenge. Okay, our partner, we opened one heart. Okay, our partner did not bid one spade. Okay, our partner would bid one spade with 4 plus spades. Okay, so we know that our partner didn't have 4 hearts either. Okay, so we know that they, between hearts and spades, the max they're going to have is 6. Okay, so it says that their 2 club bid is probably a natural club bid and probably shows 5 plus clubs. Okay, because they didn't bid diamonds, showing 5 plus diamonds. So what we're going to assume is that they actually have 5 plus clubs and say, okay, I've got 4, that gives us 9. I should bid a, you could do one of two things here. You could show a splinter by bidding 3 spades, jumping to 3 spades, or you can show the fit within in clubs. Now, in this particular hand, I think the safer thing to do is to show the spade fit. Okay, the information that you have a singles and spades might be important to your partner, but if you do a splinter in this particular situation, you're really lowering your chances of being able to find a viable game in 3 no trump if that's where it should be. So I like to show I actually like to show in this particular case that I've got the fit and not bid the splinter, because that's going to force us up to the 4 level right away and eliminate communication. Okay, and now there, just kind of point out, there's only one absolute rule in bridge, and that rule is there are no absolute rules. So you're going to use your bridge judgment and evaluate the situation based upon the hand you have, the bidding. And if you're really good at it, which I'm not, you can also use the body language of your opponents to give you additional information. Okay, now we've got an example here: 1 heart, 2 clubs. Okay, and what we've got 14 points. Okay, that's an error here. There should be no -1 there. We have 15 length points. Okay, now what are we going to do here? Well, we don't have clubs, so we can't support our clubs. We don't have blockers in the unbid suits. We don't have 4 spades, and we're not. If we did, we're not strong enough to reverse. Well, what we can do though is we can rebid the. Our partner bid clubs, so we have blocker and spades, and we've got blockers and diamonds, so we can actually bid 2 no trump, showing that we have blockers in both unbid suits. Because we bid 2 no trump, remember that shows 12 to 14 or 18 plus. Our partner we'll take it from there. They're going to go to 3 no. Remember, we're in a game forcing auction that goes to a minimum of 3 no trump. Let's look at the example number 5. All right, now in this one we have 16. We've got 1 subtracted for that singleton king of diamonds, so we've got 17 length points. All right, now and our partner bid 2 clubs. We're going to infer from that they have a real club suit, given our shortness in diamonds and so forth. We can make that inference. They didn't bid 1 spade, they didn't bid diamonds, they bid clubs. I'm going to assume that they've got 5 plus clubs. Okay, and they didn't support my hearts. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this particular point in time is I'm going to bid a splinter. I'm going to jump to 4 diamonds, because this hand is stronger than the previous one where I only bid 3 clubs, and much more distributional. Okay, what I want to do is I want to show the singleton or avoidant diamonds to my partner, so that he or she can make the determination of whether they want to go to game or they want to explore slam. Okay, and I think our final example in this particular lesson is we opened one spade, our partner said two clubs. What do we got here? We've got 18 length points. Okay, so we've got six spades, 18 plus length points. So how do we show our partner that we've got a 6-card suit and a strong hand? We bid 3 spades. We jump to 3 spades. Okay, what we're really saying is, hey, partner, we're definitely going to game. The question is where. Okay, if you've got 2 spades, 2 plus spades, we're going to game in spades, and let's keep talking. All right, now this particular, what I'm trying to do here is create a graphic that I can fill in as we go through the course, showing what the various bits mean, how do they fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. So we have this block up here where we've got 0 to 5 points as passed because we're not strong enough the response. And we've got here what I call 2/1 sequences with 3-card support and 0/1 card support. Now, it also does include some with 2-card support, but and it gets kind of complicated. But we're also going to use, if we have a relatively balanced hand, we're going to use no trump in those situations. The second one here is just for spades. It's the same. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to open the floor for questions. So come over here to participants, and I'm going to allow partners to unmute themselves. And if you've got a question, go ahead and raise your hand and I'll see if I can answer it. And let me do this. I want to, where is that?